everyone, my name is Elenis Iglesias.
I came to Miami when I was 4 years old, and I'm 22 now, so about 18 years.
How did you come to live in Miami?
I came from Cuba because my dad actually won the visa lottery, and he came here first, and then he brought my family over after living here for a couple months, I think, or about a year.
What languages do you speak?
I speak Spanish and English primarily, but I actually know a little bit of Korean.
大家好，我的名字是陆希彤。I've been here for 8 years. So at first it was we traveled here for vacation, and my mom had a friend here. So after vacation, we all think Miami is really a good place to live, and my parents really like the weather, so we just moved here. I speak so my first language is Mandarin Chinese, and then English and Korean. These three I'm pretty fluent in it, and also I know a little bit of Japanese, and I'm still learning Cantonese.
I use mainly English and Spanish. I think I would say I use more English than Spanish. Peers, my professors, that sort of thing. But Spanish is the language that I use when I'm like speaking to my family. Yeah.
So I use English and Mandarin Chinese pretty often. So English is like everywhere in the States, and Mandarin Chinese is when I'm in the house speaking to my parents and my sister. Starts talking to me in Japanese, and other languages I don't really use them in daily life.
I think that words have power. I love learning new vocabulary and new languages, and I also, through learning multiple languages, I feel that there are certain words that just feel right in certain languages, you know? Like, for example, this, according to you, is not the correct way to say it, but in Spanish, I always call a scrunchie felpa because I'm Cuban, and that's just how my family has said it. Like, scrunchie just doesn't sound like right to me.
So I guess sometimes it's a little confusing also, because knowing a lot of languages will make a language system like a little bit different. So sometimes I'll be speaking like with mixed languages to people that knows like other languages too, and then also sometimes if you speak to me like in one language, it will be like a little hard for me to transfer directly into another language. So these are like a lot of cases in the daily lives.
Yeah. Like I said, I was born in Cuba. I came here when I was 4, but growing up, I primarily only used Spanish with my family, and the things that I was learning was in school, and that was primarily in English. Like, I was learning how to read in English, and I was learning how to communicate with my peers, mainly in English. And so there was a point in my life where I started to lose my ability to communicate in Spanish to the potential that I knew I had. And so that became really frustrating for me.
Of course. The way I said, I only know a little bit Japanese. I actually learned Japanese for 4 years in high school, and that was my third language after English. But then I got really good at Japanese, but I started learning Korean. So when my Korean got better than Japanese, I kind of lose the ability to speak Japanese. So for now, I only understand Japanese, but I can't speak Japanese.
Inherently, you can communicate with more people, right? And one of the things that I love to do is to communicate, to have conversations with other people. And I think that the more languages you know, the more people you can speak to. So yeah, it's really important to me.
For me, it's like knowing different languages help me involving in different cultures, and for me, it's like a way that I get to know the world better because I can go to different places and actually understand their culture and people.
Well, I haven't been to many other places outside of Miami, but I think that here there is such a diversity, not only in Spanish, but we have a large population of people who speak Haitian Creole, and you know, there's so many other languages here, like, you know, I can't name all the languages, but and then I think that in other parts of the world, more specifically, I think like America, I would say, it's more monolingual, like primarily just English.
I feel like Miami is more like it's really exposed to Latin American cultures, so it's mostly English and Spanish, I would say. So for people that don't know Spanish, it will be a little hard to talk to some people here. So I feel like Miami is really like how do I say that? It's really close to Latin American cultures.
So I think that being where I'm from in the Miami metropolitan area, which is Hialeah, has been different than if I was in another area because, you know, I think that anywhere you go in Hialeah, it's just Spanish. Like, you would be hard pressed to find somebody who speaks to you in English, you know? And I think that growing up, that did help me a lot to still feel that connection to my Cuban heritage because I'm not in Cuba, I'm in America, but there's this community of Spanish-speaking people that makes it feel safe.
Well, my parents have some Chinese friends here, but for me, it's also a little weird to talk to them because I moved here after elementary school. But for them, it's like they live there most of life. They live in China, so we definitely have some culture difference. So sometimes when we talk to my parents' friends, the culture you can feel like there's a culture difference, I would say, but definitely. I actually don't feel that close to them because they speak the same language as you, but they don't feel the same with you.
When thinking about my interactions with other cultures in Miami that's not just Hispanic, the first thing that comes to mind is South Korean, and that's been something a little bit later in life. And it was here in college in FIU that I found, that community, and it's really strong. Like it just goes to show that wherever you go, there's so much culture everywhere, and I feel like the South Korean community in Miami has a lot to offer in terms of culture and, you know, food, delicious part of culture, but the people are really nice too. And I think also I think of Haitian Creole, like people from the Haitian community, because my sister, she used to work at a daycare and she had to learn some Haitian Creole because a lot of the kids spoke that, and so she had to speak it so that they understood her. So there's so many things that you pick up in Miami that are from other cultures, not just Spanish-speaking ones.
Well, that's like most part in Miami, so I actually enjoyed it because all the food and all my friends, most of my friends are Latin Americans. So I think it's really cool to actually be in the United States, but like exposed to other cultures like the Hispanics, and I actually love it like so far.
I feel like in a way that there will be more linguistic diversity, I think, because Miami is such a hot spot for different communities, not just Spanish-speaking ones like we were talking about before, but also I have noticed that like whenever I'm out anywhere and I'm interacting with it's usually more a young person, they're speaking to me in English. And I also notice a lot more people in my like in my classes or in my community that are Hispanic but maybe don't necessarily use Spanish in their day-to-day or don't even speak Spanish. So I think that it's going to become more linguistically diverse because of the different cultures that are now being a bigger part of Miami.
I would say it will definitely change a little bit because seeing now, I feel like a lot of Asian people are starting to come in Miami because compared to like eight years ago when I just came here, there wasn't a lot of Asians here, but now I've seen like more and more. So after like 20 to 30 years, definitely there's more diversities in Miami.
It's disheartening to see, rules, people, or at least people wanting to put rules in place to make, I feel like, other languages obsolete in Miami because we are such a culturally diverse city. I was thinking specifically about schools in Miami because my major is elementary education. And so one of the things that we learn when teaching ESOL students is this concept of translanguaging. And it's basically when you use their home language to kind of facilitate the learning of English. And it makes the process a lot smoother and it makes them feel a lot safer. But that practice is actually not permitted in a lot of schools. Like they'll have an English only policy. And I found that that's not really beneficial for the students, and in a lot of cases the teachers aren't really doing that. They're not keeping with that policy. So it's like, what's the point of even having it there if nobody thinks that it's gonna work?